So I met and received some wisdom from an elder yesterday. Things come to you, the most powerful things that arrive in your life as far as knowledge goes, I like to say they hit like counter punches. You know what I mean? So, like imagine an intense boxing match going on and you're fighting and you're doing all this battling and this work. And if you ever play like Fight Night, hell, if you box yourself or been in a fight, Fight Night, Knockout King, stuff like that, and there's like that parry move, like right after that parry, there's a big something else on the end of it. It's all physics. At any rate, good afternoon to you. I've been doing a lot more research and listening to shape what I'm trying to cultivate the right way. And as a result, I've had to sacrifice some time away from actually interfacing. But of course, all in good time, all in good purpose. Everything happens for a cyclical reason. Based on that motive, we're not meant to understand why everything occurs. But with all that said, this wisdom resonated on a political level to me, but then it also put me right back in the passenger seat of some experiences I went through regarding education, and then with an English major, you could advance that statement to formal education. So all that to say, the lady who I met, of course, the female messenger, a much more potent, powerful messenger, especially spiritually. But anyway, she was telling me how so many melanated people here in the continental U.S. Are probed to save their money. And then, critically thinking and trying to, I guess, simplify what that means, it translated to save your money, save your money, save your money. So what does that mean from a control standpoint? Because salvaging something is based on this like grid of scarcity. So you save something so that you'll have more in case when it runs out, you'll have more to fall back on. So what's the implication here? That you don't control what you're saving. Because if you controlled what you're saving, you wouldn't have such a necessity and burning desire to save it. Okay? So it's almost as if over time, your ability to even define what you find value in almost gets diminished when you focus solely on saving money instead of controlling money. And controlling doesn't have to be at a CEO level. Controlling starts in your mind and in your subconscious. And I'm not even trying to make this a, that sort of video, but we're all talking about a mindset and harnessing a particular mentality for the betterment of what you want to do. But she went on to say that so many melanated people are not only probed to save their money only, but they are at a disadvantage because the elder generation tells them to simply, and these were her words, the elder generation tells them to experience something. But the experience, there's promised hurt, there's promised deficits in emotion, in psychology. There's we've watered everything down to saying, well, that's life. But no, look at how the education system slices and dices who you are and who you can be. Really, from the time before time you're even competent enough to recognize it, most of us. Now I can't be that general because we have different sorts of families, we have different upbringings, different philosophies. But for most of us, the education system is taught as an experience to get through so that you can arrive at the end game, which brings us back to saving money. So it's very interesting, and it probed my mind in a particular way. And with that being said, I will make a quick darker transition into some more things that happened on some different planes yesterday regarding spirit guardians, regarding a lot of transitions being made as we enter the summer month. And of course, you know, summer is the bullhorn for the dog days of Sirius and this great cosmic union that's going to take place in the stars. At any rate, I knew it was a message, and I knew it was a day of messengers. And when she said that, it put me back to the science of who my messengers were and who they are and who they'll continue to be. And me being an air sign, and me being a soul that was particularly part of what's called the winged tribes, and we'll go into that in another video. But it's basically a group of entities or souls that are here to impart a particular stream of intelligence, not necessarily to a lot of people, but it's based on an energy. It's based on a science, an actual pulsation. Okay, so regardless of what my physical endeavors pan out to be, I'm sure they'll be successful. This is more on a clandestine energy type of level. Okay, so with that being said, since I was younger, my spirit guardians have always been royal members of that winged family. Down here we know them as hawks, owls, eagles, etc. You know, this group of, you know, some that say have descended from past you know, entities on this planet and different things like that, and they harbor a certain sage-like wisdom, and they show themselves to the next group of sages. But anyway, wisdom is very strong, and to see an owl yesterday in the 9th hour, after hearing such a strong message, and I know it was strong because it was so simple and so pure. You know, she said, we are taught to experience this education without any sort of essentially digging into the root of what that word means. And that etymology goes to educare, 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 which means to draw that is within, without. Again, to draw that is within, without. You know, and I didn't jump in front of her and try to say that. It would have been marginally beneficial. But the main idea is that if you don't cultivate and vitalize your own understanding of what worth, education, knowledge, chemistry, science, physics, math, all of these different bodies of information and art correspond to things already within you. So to bring them out is to not only do yourself justice, but it's to respect these life ways in the way they're meant to be. Not to master them, but to simply correspond with them and align with them to the point of, physical unison. Because once we establish unison here, by way of talismans, by way of prayer, by way of meditation, whatever physical technique that we've adapted to allow the spirits to come in, those transcend with us on higher dimensions as well.